Hello, my name is Joel and welcome back to my YouTube channel Shared Deck. Today I'm going to be doing a Commander Deck Tech, and this time it's for Tishana, Voice of Thunder. So this deck is all about having cards in your hand and a lot of them. So the main theme of the deck is a lot of my creatures do get a lot more powerful the more cards that I have in my hand. So I do have a lot of card draw. Unfortunately, those same creatures does not have evasion. So we do have a couple of ways to grant evasion, or some ways to punch through the opponent, so they won't just get jump block for 1/1s or 2/2s. So with that, well, let's talk about our commander, Tishana, Voice of Thunder. So it's a 7 to cast. It enters its power and toughness are equal to the number of cards in our hand, which is very good since that is the main theme of the deck. And then the other ability is you have no maximum hand size. Obviously, you want to have more than 7 cards in your hand. So again, that's very good. And then when it enters the battlefield, draw a card for each creature you control. Again, not unless we get board wiped the last turn, we're going to be guaranteed at least to draw 3, 4, or 5 cards. Since this deck is very creature centric, just like any of my other commander decks. So with that, let's talk about our alternate commander, Prime Speaker Zegana. So this pretty much complements Tishana in a very good way. So let's talk about its ability. So when it enters the battlefield, it gets +1/+1 counters equal to the greatest power among other creatures we control. So again, that's very good since a lot of my creatures do get more powerful the more cards that we have in our hands. So, but the kicker ability that we are really after is when Prime Speaker Zegana enters the battlefield, draw a card, or draw cards equal to its power, which is pretty much you're doubling the power of most of our creatures. So which is good. So let's say you have a creature that is a +7/+7 equal to the number of cards that we have in our hand. So when Prime Speaker Zegana enters the battlefield, it'll draw 8 cards because it is also a 1/1. So, and then you're pretty much doubling the power of the 7/7. So it'll become a 15/15. Because obviously the more cards that you have in your hand, the more powerful some of our creatures get. So that's that. Let's talk about the theme of the deck. So here are the creatures that gains more powerful the more cards that we have in our hands. So first off, we'll start off with a Sage of Ancient Lore. When it enters the battlefield, draw a card. And when it transforms into a Werewolf of Ancient Hunger. So it has Vigilance and Trample. And now its power and toughness is equal to all players' hand, which is very good. That is pretty much, that could one-shot somebody real quick. So we got Over Being a Myth. Beginning of your draw step, we get to draw an extra card, which is very good for our deck. Maru Multani Sorcerer. Again, its power toughness equals to all players' hand, which is very good. Unfortunately, it does have Shroud, so which just be a good thing and a bad thing. So Psychosis Scroller. So whenever we draw a card, each opponent loses 1 life. So there was like a game that I had a 9/9 and I played Rishkar's Expertise, and he dealt 9 damage to all of my opponents, so which is very good. Even though I did lose that game, but regardless, that was a huge amount of damage. And then we have Soromaru, First to Dream. So its abilities, you can return a land you control to its owner's hand, draw a card. So it's very overcosted, but if you do have a couple creatures like this, then you're basically, you draw a card, so you're basically giving them +2/+2. So which is not bad, not the greatest, but Body of Knowledge. It's you have no maximum hand size, so it's very redundant with our commander. If for some reason our commander is out, then this will be a good substitute, I guess. So whenever Body of Knowledge dealt damage, you draw that many cards, which is very good if it gets blocked, or you get to block a creature. So Manifestation Sage. It produces a token that gets more powerful the more cards that we have in your hand, which is good. We do have a couple of ways to return this and replay it. So So we'll overwhelm the board with tokens. This one's straightforward. Aeon Chronicler, which has Suspend. Jolrael, hopefully I pronounced this right. Miumvuli Recluse. So the first ability is pretty okay, but the second ability is what we're really after. So a lot of my creatures does not have the equal to the number of cards in your hand that gets plus X or plus star. So having that ability, that second ability, is very good for this deck. So you could definitely take out an opponent. So we got Strumgeist, deals combat damage, draw a card, which is nice. And Imperial Plight. Now, since our commander is 7 to cast, so we are pretty much like overloaded in ramp. So we want to ramp out as fast as we could possibly can to play our commander. So let's blitz through this real quick. So we're in the ramp section. So we got Sakura Tribe Elder. Let's get a little bit closer here. All right. Nature's Lore. 3 Visits. Growth Spiral. Drum Hunter. Urban Evolution. Rampant Growth. Arcane Signet. Soul Ring. Sky Shroud Claim. Wood Elves. Magus of the Library. So this deck is, I feel like it's a very good fit for this deck. Early on, you do want to ramp out, and the later game, when you have exactly seven cards, you get to draw a card, which is very good. Uro, Titan of Nature's Wrath. Again, this is a good ramp. Very situational, but there'll be times when we don't have a card that will give us no maximum hand size, so this will be the first one to get discarded, but you'll be able to play it later on for its escape cost, which is very good. The Great Henge. So if you do have a full hand, this is more than likely it's going to be casting, will be 2 to cast. Farseek and Myriad Landscape. Alright, and we're now here at the spot removal section. So we got Rending Vines. Draw a card. Its drawback of you can't destroy an artifact enchantment equal to the number of cards in your hand is very minimal. So Forbid, obviously we have to have ways to protect our commander, since we do have a lot of cards in our hand, so the buyback cost doesn't bother us that much. Rapid Hybridization. Fongify, so we have to have ways to interact with our opponents. So Counter Spell, Beast Within. So Surge Spanner and Tradewind Rider. Tradewind Rider. So if you are not familiar with Tradewind Rider, it is flying. Tap 2 creatures you control. Return target permanent to its owner's hand. So Tradewind Rider works really well with Seaborn Muse. And if you have Surge Spanner in the field too. So if you have Seaborn Muse, Surge Spanner, and if you do have the mana available, you can definitely just return 2 permanents per turn, since you do untap them every single turn. And Seaborn Muse, if you don't have a Seaborn Muse, then if you have a Murkfeed Liege, pretty much does the same thing too. But obviously Seaborn Muse is much preferable because it also untaps lands. Alright, some ways to protect our commanders or creatures. We got Heroic Intervention. Our Haste Enabler is Surak the Hunt Caller. Our Graveyard Hate, Relic of Progenitus. Alright, let's get a little bit closer here. Eternal Witness, our Graveyard Recursion. We could also target this with our Tradewind Rider or Surge Spanner, so we could get some of our cards back and recast them. So our 2 board wipes, we have River's Rebuke and Cyclonic Rift. Alright, we're here at the card draw section now. So we got Maul Drifter. Obviously this is very good because that's the theme of the deck. The more cards that we have in your hand, the better. So we got Nezahal, the Primal Tide. So the ability that we do want is you have no maximum hand size. It is 7 to cast though. So whenever an opponent casts a non-creature card, you draw a card, which is very good. Mystic Confluence, worst comes to worst, this could let you draw 3 cards. Elder Gargaroth, it lets you draw a card if we do attack. Rishkar's Expertise, this is very good. It's pretty much like a pump for most of our creatures. It pretty much like doubles their power. Guardian Project, since we do have a couple of creatures, this will be very good. Hydroid Crassus. So this is a very iffy card. This is pretty much like a flex spot for me. So it's okay. The couple of times I was able to play it. But yeah. Brainstorm. And Scroll of Origin. So this is very good if we do have a Seaborn Muse in play. So you pay 2, you pay, draw a card if you have 7 or more cards in your hand, which is more than likely that will be. So we got Garut, the Primal Hunter. It's -3 ability is what we're really after. So again, it will double most of our creatures' power. Gush. And then this will let us pretty much get +4/+4 because you'll be returning 2 islands and then you're also drawing 2 cards. So +4/+4 to most of our creatures. Cryptic Command, obviously some ways to kind of, it does let you draw, but also trying to defend yourself. Karuga, the Micro Sage. Pull from Tomorrow. Compulsive Research. Alright, some ways to punch through our opponent. So we got Triumph Hordes, our go-to one. Predatory Focus. And our Power Matrix. So Power Matrix, I don't think I have a deck that really fits for this deck, for this card, but I feel like this deck is pretty much like tailor fit for it. Because it target creature gets +1/+1 flying, first strike, and trample. So the flying gives it evasion and the trample. So if they do have a flying chump blocker, we could just trample over it, which is very good. And it's not just like any equipment, so we can equip it to another creature or equip it. So it's not bad. All right, we're here at the land section, so we'll blitz through this real quick. So we got Vine Glimmer Snarl, Waterlogged Grove, Rejuvenating Springs, Temple of Mystery, Botanical Sanctum, Yavimaya Coast, Simic Grove Chamber, Hinterland Harbor, Lumbering Falls, Breeding Pool, a Reflecting Pool, Flooded Grove, a Command Tower, Prismatic Vista, a Fabled Passage, a Misty Rainforest. So we got here at the miscellaneous stuff. So we got Alchemist Refuge, Reliquary Tower, Homeward Path, and we have 6 islands. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 12 forests. I'm not gonna count all 12 of them. Just have to believe me. There's 12 of them right there. So with that takes care of our deck tech, Commander Deck Tech for Tishana, Voice of Thunder. Thank you for watching. Hope you like the content. If you do like the content, please like, share, and subscribe. All right, thank you. Bye.